This
recording.
conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So, guys, would I really appreciate you people to tell me something, to not to me, to everyone, something about you. So, we'll go alphabetically. Amresh, Amresh Gupta, thank you so very much for joining. Really appreciate your presence this early morning. I was just skeptical that some of you guys will not be able to join, but yes, indeed, it is highly appreciable. Amresh, can you just give me give us a brief about yourself and what is your holistic intention to do this particular course? Amresh, mic is over to you.
Hello.
Yeah, Amresh.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Amresh.
Uh, I am as a network engineer in my organization, but I am working on Ccie based. But just I joining you
Mhm,
and see the what in what is in this course
mhm.
you learned to me.
Good, good, good. So, which organization you're working with, Amresh?
Inspira Enterprise India Private Limited.
Instra India Enterprise Private Limited. And where is this
Yes.
organization?
This organization is Maharashtra, and I am working in New Delhi.
New Delhi. Wonderful.
Yes.
Well, network in the field of networking means in the field of routing and switch.
Yes, sir. Routing and switching.
Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful. Your initiative to join this is highly appreciated, Kamlesh, and this shows
Sure.
that your uh, hunger to get more and more of knowledge over and above routing and switching. Highly
Yes.
appreciated. Thank you so much, Amrish.
Okay.
Couple of friends of over here I already know, so it's fine. I can skip it. Okay. Palani Kumar, my dear friend Palani Kumar, can you tell us something about you?
Hello, sir. Good morning, and hello, everyone, too.
Yeah. Good morning and
So
welcome.
basically, I'm from Tamil Nadu and staying in Bangalore. Overall, I'm having 15 years of experience in the field of mixed. My profile is a mixed profile, actually. I'm from the background manufacturing engineering, and then I moved to the technical support side team. In terms of manufacturing engineering, I worked with NSN, Flextronics. NSN means the Nokia Siemens network, and then Flextronics, and then Ericsson. So these are the companies. Basically, I was in the journey with the manufacturing side, and then I moved to Spirent Communications, which is into test and measurement company in the traffic engineering domain, basically. I am into the wireline product support here as a technical support guy. As a technical support guy, I'm into the wireline product. I'm handling the wireline products. The complete wireline portfolio I'm handling here for India and Southeast Asia support. Currently, I'm a lead person, senior a member of technical staff. Under
Mhm,
me, there are two technicians also there. As
mhm,
I told you, my profile is a mixed profile, so I have to take care technical support for hardware only, particularly in terms of servicing, supporting, and firmware, hardware fault isolation, and troubleshooting, diagnosing, part replacement, and yeah, 50 to 60% of application level support. Basically, the OSI layer concept from L2 to L7, all type of products the Spirent is contributing in the network customers. So
mhm.
basically, for the wireline domain, complete wireline portfolio, which all are the products present in our Spirent package, I have to take care for the L2 to L7 layer supporting and servicing side. Also, I'm handling the lab management also. We have local lab in our office, so I'm handling the lab also. So it is a mixed profile. So basically, I need to take care of all these things. This is how my overall profile.
Okay, so what kind of hardware devices are these?
These are the traffic engines. Usually, it will generate a traffic based on the requirement from L2 to L3. The OSI layer concepts, L2, L3 traffic if requires, they will purchase few products, dedicated products. If the customer need some specific products related to L4 and L7 traffic purpose, then they will purchase a different product. And also we are into wireless portfolio also we have. So
Mhm.
GPS and the positioning technology, in terms of all domains they are contributing. So based on that requirement, the products will use. Basically I'm into the wireline side, so I'm handling all the routing and switching. And the data center side, what are the everything is similar. We the traffic engines are uh, two to three different products are we are using. So these traffic engines usually generated traffic, and they will connect the DUT and they will verify and validate their product.
Okay, so are you just handling the hardware and the software, firmwares, etc., or you are handling the technologies which these products are running into as well?
Uh, Not much into the technologies. I would say it is hardly 2 to 3% or 5% max. It is very very limited as per
Okay.
my job description.
Okay, so I understand that you are expert into hardware and its firmware upgrade, part replacement, etc., with regards to
Yes,
all kind of routers, switches, firewalls, load balancers,
yes,
any
right.
L7 devices and appliances.
Yes. Yes,
But
the basically the customers, if they raise a complaint or a ticket in the real time production environment, we need to troubleshoot that.
good. And from this understanding, I do understand as well that you are very much interested in learning the technologies which these devices are catering to.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah.
And since all these devices are deployed in your data center, you would love to understand what are various technologies these devices are serving, right?
Exactly correct. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Great. And probably I remember, having had a discussion with you. I'm not
Yes.
sure, but
Over the WhatsApp we had. I'm not sure. Last year and couple of years, I think couple of months back, uh, I was looking for this course, but unfortunately, I have not joined at the time due to some other reason.
that's right. And that's what I believe. Probably last year, beginning of the last year, we had a discussion about on
Yeah,
WhatsApp.
true. Yeah, true.
Great, 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 great. Good. Really good to have you over here, Palani, once again. And
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm over here to address all your doubts, questions with regards to the data center technology. So let's move over to our other friends, and then I will request all of you guys one by one. Of course, any in randomly, you can ask your questions. Okay. So then we have another friend called Vikrant. Vikrant has joined us from his mobile. Vikrant, over to you. Mike is over to you, Vikrant.
Hey, hello everyone, good morning. So
Morning.
I have completed my CCNA in routing and switching, and currently I am working from last 5 years in a networking industry. And currently I am working as a technical support engineer at TCS. So I am basically solving the troubleshooting the tickets. I do not have the much knowledge, so I want to improve my knowledge in networking technologies. So yeah, I also want to gain some knowledge about data center also. That's it from my side.
Beautiful, Vikrant. Nice. Nice to have you over here. And I do understand, yes, you are also from the routing and switching background, and your holistic intention is to learn the data center technology. It's good because data center is going to encompass into it not only routing and switching, not only the security, everything almost. The storage area networking, compute, and a lot of other things. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Vikrant, and welcome in this session. And then we
Thank you.
have Vishnu from Malaysia. Yes, Vishnu, can you just let us know about you?
Hi, hi everyone. My name is Vishnu. Basically, I am from Kerala, India. But 3 years back, I moved to Malaysia for my job. Currently, I am working as senior network engineer in DHL IT services. Basically, my total experience is 9 years, but my relevant experience 7 years, especially on network. So far, I am handling the mostly in security products, especially the engineering level, firewalls, cloud proxy, load balancers. So in future, I would like to enhance my knowledge in routing, switching, data center also. So I am looking forward to become a architect kind of position in future. So that is the main intention I joining this course. Yeah, that is all about me.
Thank you so much, Vishnu, and truly telling you, you are absolutely clear about your future path. Yes, indeed, to call yourself as a solution architect, because an architect is supposed to know not only one single technology, you really have to be a master of various technologies, and data center version 3.0 is over here to provide you lot of technologies besides security, load balancer, firewall, what you're configuring right now, but also the routing and switching, also the compute, also the storage area networking, etc. So there is, because data center is an enclosure, a complete enclosure of all these technologies. And whatever you have learned, that's really indeed going to help you, Vishnu.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You are welcome, my friend. Okay, and then we'll go ahead. There is another friend of mine. I think he's waiting. Uh, he is not connected to audio, not able to have his name as well. All right, fine, fair enough. Guys, let's get started. Meanwhile, in case if someone join, we will definitely talk to him as well. Okay, so this is CCI Data Center Certification and Training. So over to you guys. Please feel absolutely free to get all your doubts clear, because this session is not my session, this session is your session. I'm over here just to address your questions. Anything related to technology, related to certification, related to the contents. Who would like to? So shall we start from you, Vishnu? You have any doubt?
Okay. Yeah, I just looking. Is there basically I have some generic doubts because I don't know much about the especially Cisco certification. So far, I only have CCNA routing and switching. So I want to know, is there any prerequisites for CCIE data center, and also what is the first step we need to take if we are going through CCIE data center certification and training?
Very good. Indeed, you are right. There is a prerequisite to attend this particular training, and the prerequisite is CCNA routing and switching. Rest, if you know about firewalls, you know about load balancers, if you know about the virtualization, that is definitely going to be an added advantage. This course is basically a zero to hero course. That's what we call it. But the expectation is, yes, for your benefit, the expectation is you should know about the routing and switching. You should know about the IP addressing. Why is it so? Because all these technologies, all this knowledge of yours will be used over here in our data center. You name whatever you know, but and in the data center technologies, we will be using that particular component. And definitely on top of all your knowledges, whatsoever you have acquired, there will be more in terms of adding into the knowledges. So I will tell you the complete path, all the modules which are involved in this particular training course. You will happen to see that in each and every module, you do require a handsome knowledge of your switching protocols, your routing protocols. You do need IP addressing schema. What is this IP addressing? If you know about IP v4 addressing, wonderful. If you know about IP v6 addressing, also that is beautiful. If you know about servers, wonderful. If you know about storage, wonderful. Otherwise, because storage area networking is something which is almost untouched by us. So SAN is something which does not expect any specific requirement from you, just that you should know about various addressing, physical addresses, logical addresses, etc. Okay, I'm going to cover all these things, but first of all, your questions. Okay, so Amresh, do you have any question about CCI data center training?
No, sir.
Okay, so you just looking for what is this? You know what? Would really appreciate you to ask in case if you are not clear about anything in this particular discussion what we are doing. Okay, any apprehension if you have, any doubt if you have, please feel absolutely free. Okay, over to you, Palani. So, Palani, what is your question about CCI data center certificate training?
Actually, I want to know where I can position myself now, being as a data center guy, with respect to my overall background experience, and adding to this, how this data center course, how is going to help me. And because I'm not sure whether the experiences what I'm holding now may or may not be sufficient to take over this exam or course. So I just want to
Okay,
understand how it is going to be help me perfectly.
okay. So, Palani, as you're working in data center, as day in, day out, you are handling almost all the devices, right? And the devices, they are routers, they are switches, they are firewalls, they are load balancers, they are proxy servers and all. But you know what? The devices which you are handling are all the hardware devices. It is extremely going to be incomplete for you, and over the period of time, you will realize that what is going inside the hardware. Today, in present world, few hardware devices, and inside them hundreds of virtual devices are running. For example, in one single server, if you really do not know that there are firewalls running in the server, there are various virtual machines running, not one single machine, but multiple virtual machines are running in a server. How the entire traffic is flowing. Currently, you are on a working on wire line. You know the traffic does require the wires, but at the same time, the traffic in today's world is initiated from the virtual machine. There is no wireless communication as well, but the wireless comes in between. So what I'm talking about is this particular course will help you your actual positioning when it comes to the traffic flow. It will help you to understand that inside a physical device there may be multiple virtual devices as well. The way you connect the physical devices with the help of wires, in the same way the virtual devices, they are also connected with their virtual interfaces. So you have various devices in your under your hands, but at the same time, over a period of time, you would love, and the way, in case if you learn it, then you will simply love to know that you have really learned wonderful technologies, which is handling the traffic. So data center is nothing but it is the next level to the data center devices which you are handling. I'm going to tell you various technologies which are running under those devices shortly. I truly believe this particular course is a very important course for you. All right. Okay. So coming over to Vikrant, Vikrant, what is your
Yeah.
expectation?
So, like, I do not have the specific questions regarding the data center, but I am not clear about the like difference between this data center training and the one we called as a service provider. So I'm not clear about like the what are the main things like we expect from a service provider or the data center perspective. So like, can you guide me on the like what is the main difference or major focus areas of like both of the service provider and data center?
Absolutely. Let me quickly address this question of yours. You know, where the data center ends, the service provider begins. Service provider's responsibility is to make sure the traffic coming from various machines, right? Various end machines inside the data center, that particular traffic is sent to the ISP network, ISP cloud. It can be your internet, it can be your dark fiber, it can be MPLS, etc. So service provider makes sure that the data center to data center connectivity happens, right? For example, you have data centers all across the world. So who carries the traffic between the data center? It is the responsibility of the service provider. I have just given you 50,000 feet overview of the service provider and service providers affiliation to data center. Does it give you a fair idea of it?
Yeah, I got the idea. Yeah. Now the main difference is like data center means that within our that building only they will take care, and like service provider, whenever the traffic goes outside that building, so it's responsibility of service provider, right?
Yes. Data center
Okay.
means within the building or on a specific floor or on a specific room, which is definitely connected to whom, which is connected to the end host, that is the users.
And
So in
again, one question, like if we talk about the data center, so like if we talk about India, so is it like enough bandwidth in all parts of India to like start a data center, or do we have the enough bandwidth to run the data center in India? Like I'm not sure about this data center concepts, but like just it's maybe some basic questions. Yeah, but still like I.
indeed, yes. So for the data center to this data center connectivity, you require various technologies. For example, the fiber optic cables you must have seen even outside your house. Few months back, so many guys came, they dig the footpath, the road, and laid down the cables. So today, all across India as well, just like everyone, because how you are connected to me, it is you are connected through me to all of us through certain media, right? So yes, we have sufficient bandwidth to cater to multiple data centers requirement. That's this is again a very high level answer I've given you. But this is not the one which we are going to bother about. We are not going to bother about whether what kind of cabling is being done to connect various users, hosts, and all. But answer is yes. And in case there are certain remote locations where laying down the cable is not possible, then there are various other medias. For example, far off locations, they are connected through the satellites.
Okay,
And
thank you.
One country is connected to other country through undersea cables. There are cables which are laid down under the sea as well, right? So that's the way how the entire globe, all the countries across the globe, they are connected to each other. All right, good question. So guys, now I'm going to start just giving you a high level introduction of what is there in this data center and what you are going to get out of from this particular course. Ccie data center certification and training. What we are going to talk about, we are going to talk about the batches, timings, blueprint, what are the contents, what are the technologies, the duration of this particular course, what are the different labs, hands-on you can do in this particular course, and various study materials which will help you to understand this data center technologies conveniently. Guys, this particular certification, what we are doing is, this particular course which we are doing is certification oriented course. But our intention is not only towards certification, but our intention is to enhance our knowledge first, right? There is nothing called a shortcut to the success. So we will be covering over here the in-depth of data center, starting from the hardwares which will be used in the data center to the advanced technologies, including network automation. The topics the off data center covers what? It will cover the network, compute, storage, automation, and security. Compute means what? Compute means our server. Compute means to know how various servers are connected to the network. We are not talking about how to install the operating system, how to install the applications, how to run the applications. No, that's not the intention. Our intention is the connectivity. Something which is going to be a very new for all of us is called storage network. In short, sweet and crispy, we call it as a storage area networking. We cannot keep storage area networking aside. You know what, guys? Before I stepped into the field of data center, I used to think, what the heck is there in the storage area networking? What the guys they are doing in storage area networking, right? And I used to get extremely confused about this. So as I said, data center is a complete Bible of various modules. Storage is a very important component of it, and comes the automation. Automation means a process with the help of which you can push various configurations in a single shot on not only one device but on multiple devices. And security is also something which we will be taking care of, security being an internal component of it. But of course, our main focus is not to go and take a deep dive into security, but how this security can be enhanced in the data center. This course not only covers the written examination, this course will help you to clear the lab examination. Of course, we are not going to just mug up the technology for our written or lab examination, but our holistic intention will be to understand the technology so that if we go for the examination, we should be able to crack it. CCI Data Center Lab Examination version 3.0. Guys, it's very important to understand, because specifically for those who are doing CCI data center for the first time, there is, if you clear your written examination, you book your lab examination, on the day of your lab examination, you will get the two different modules. The very first module which will come to you is called as design module, wherein you have to answer various design related questions, and the time allocated to you will be 3 hours. In 3 hours, this is going to be an objective type. In 3 hours, you will get various questions based on various scenarios, design scenarios, and you have to answer them. Well, if you go on to the next question, then you cannot come back to the previous question, which is what newly added in this design module. Earlier in version 2.0, 2.1, this used to be known as diagnostic, where going further and going back was allowed. This used to be 1 hour only. Total time for your lab examination is 8 hours. Out of 8 hours, 3 hours are given to the design, which is sufficient time for you guys to look at into the design related questions, and 5 hours are given for the lab examination, wherein you will have deploy, operate, and optimize the data center lab technologies running in various hardware as well as virtual devices. Okay, this is just a high level of this. And your overall score will be pass if you pass in both the the design as well as deploy component. That is, Cisco will give you a pass certification if you pass this one and if you pass the deploy as well, right? So you have to pass in both. Sometimes what happens is you get to see a pass here and pass over here, but unfortunately, that is a very unfortunate situation. Cisco says fail. Why? Because Cisco expects you that your aggregate, you can pass, for example, with what? With 60% here. You can pass over here with say 75% over here. But in case if your aggregate is not coming out to be 80%, then it is considered to be as a fail. So you need to make sure that minimum 80% in each module you need to have so that you can have aggregate of 80%. Guys, you can see this is 3 hours plus 5 hours, means it's a full day lab, wherein you cannot exit without submitting your lab. Okay. Well, at a high level, these are the various technologies which are covered in our examination. L2, L3, fabric infrastructure, fabric connectivity, compute, storage, security, automation, and orchestration. These technologies so covered in our lab examination, guys. These are the technologies which we will be doing in this particular course of ours. So, lab has various equipments into it, various devices into it. The devices, some of the devices are directly under our control. Some of the devices we will not be able to directly log in. What I'm talking about? I'm talking about the hardware devices. Most of the devices will be given to us. The devices will include what? Devices will include our APIC cluster. Well, these are the devices for one single technology, and the technology is called ACI, application centric infrastructure, which is also called software defined networking. That is a networking which will be defined by the software, that is certain applications. Well, then we have our Nexus 7000 series switches, Nexus 5600, Nexus 2300 fabric extenders. We will be provided with a server. In this particular server, this server will be hosted in a particular architecture. We will be provided with one pair of, we call it as a fabric interconnect, running certain management component inside it. We will be provided with Ccie, but provided means doesn't mean that you can go and touch them. They will be all remote. You will be given access to them, and there will be a storage box that will also be provided to you. Considering all these components, all these devices, you know what is the objective? Objective is to do a networking between them. Objective is to allow a specific traffic flow as being asked to us through them. Before it, we need to understand how that these devices, they should be connected in a right manner, in a right topology. These devices will be running different software versions. Okay, now the entire structure is divided into 6 high-level modules. You know what? The very first module, called module 1, wherein I have specified various technologies. This module is a very small module. If just by seeing the name of the technologies doesn't mean that it is a very large, and other I have not specified technologies, they are small. Guys, you know what? Module number 2 is the biggest module, has got maximum number of devices, maximum scenarios, and of course it will consume maximum time, and consequently this is the highest demanding module in the industry today. Just that if you have knowledge of Cisco ACI, your job is confirmed. It is for sure. It's just by, there are certain guys who just come and learn this Cisco ACI only. Highest in demand in the industry today. I will be giving you a glimpse of what is going to be there. Storage area networking is basically a complementary module for us. Complementary means what? Because in a real production environment, there is a dedicated team taking care of storage area networking. And this particular storage area networking has entirely a different setup. Apart from your LAN and the WAN, the technologies over here and the terminologies over here are absolutely new. The addressing is absolutely different. The connectivity type is different, the port type is different in this. So, but since it forms an integral part of data center connectivity, we holistically need to know storage area networking and how it works as well. You know what? I have a friend of mine. I got a call from him yesterday. He is holistically into security. Now he is getting an opportunity. He is getting an opportunity, and the demand is that you should know storage area networking as well. The expectation is you should know not only security, but you should know where your security devices are connected in the entire data center. And of course, this technology also has some security mechanisms, some inbuilt security mechanisms. This particular module will help us to learn those security mechanisms as well. UCS. In every organization, guys, you have friends. They are called server admins. The latest terminology which we are using for server is not a server, but we call it as a compute. Because compute is an overall terminology. Wow, another friend of ours by the name of Shaji has joined. Welcome, Shaji. Our discussion has started, Shaji, so we will have your introduction later on. So, guys, in module number 4, it is called Unified Computing System. It is not called the server. The terminology server is an obsolete terminology. It is now known as compute, because this is very much aggregate terminology. Over here, our intention is not to know about one single server. Our intention is to know about compute architecture. And you know what? It's not the compute architecture only, but our data center will tell us that how this compute architecture is connected to our rest of the devices, that is the switches, and how to configure the connectivity once again in between the compute and, for example, the storage. So compute and storage, they are connected, and this is connected to ACI, application centric infrastructure, and this is connected to our module number 1. Guys, these modules are not the separate modules. These modules are integrated modules, because that in the data center you will have to work on Nexus devices, the ACI, on storage and UCS, and lastly, but not the last, but a very important component called hyper converged infrastructure. This means that this is a module wherein UCS, wherein our storage, wherein our LAN, all of them, they will merge. Hyperconvergence is nothing but it is a sum total of LAN, SAN, and compute. So in this particular module called hyperconverged infrastructure as a technology, you will, by the way, Hyperflex is Cisco's terminology representing the device. So the technology name is hyperconverged infrastructure, short, sweet, and crispy. We call it as HCI. You will learn how LAN, SAN, and compute, they merge in a single box. You know what this means? This is something very big virtualized environment. So this is a part of the big virtualization. And lastly, but not the least, very important topic is the network automation. Over here, we will learn how to automate our network by learning the scripting technologies. Today, very big buzzword is about Python. Everyone learn Python. Big buzzword is going on. Even, the school going students, starting from, if I'm not wrong, standard 8th. Well, my son started learning Python from standard 8th, right? They are learning Python, scripting languages. And in fact, indeed, I learned from standard 8th book as well. So you can understand how important this language is. And this particular scripting language we are using in our data center to configure our devices. This is about the module. If you have any question about any of these modules, guys, please let me know. because now I'm going to give you a slight deeper dive into each and every module. Module 1, which is going to be our Nexus. In this particular module, we are going to learn about Nexus hardware, software, the concept of virtual device context, virtual port channel, Vxlan. Wow, very something which is very important, called virtual extensible local area networking. Under hardware, we will be learning about various kind of chassis, the line cards, the buzzword again, something technical called fabric modules, and something well known to us called supervisor engines, which is nothing but, we will be learning about head, that is brain and limbs of our data center. This is going to be a high level understanding because it is not going to be part of our examination, but very important for us to know about the devices which we will be using to configure. And also what is there in those hardware boxes called operating system. Nexus operating system also is a very important agenda. No question from examination, but pretty important for us to be comfortable with those devices. As I was telling you, one device can be virtualized into multiple devices inside a device, the concept called virtual device context. We will be learning over here as well. Called, this is VDC, pretty important, which is available in only one specific family, that is called Nexus 7000. This beauty, this functionality is not available in any of the switch. Why? We will be starting to understand this from a use case. Why do we need virtual device context? Virtual port channel. The evolution of virtual port channel has originated from the concept of port channel, also known as ether channel today. Well, with regards to all the manufacturers, this virtual port channel concept is available. Some of the vendors, they call it as multi-chassis ether channel. Cisco calls it as virtual port channel. Well, this particular topic is not at all new for you, multicast. But this particular topic is not in touch with you guys as well, unless and until you have a good experience working with the service provider. Any ISP, if you are working with, then multicast is imperative for you guys to know. And in case if you have never got an opportunity to work with an ISP, and that too in a core data center, then multicast is something which we really need to know. The question, very first question comes is this multicast, why we should go for? Because guys, this multicast forms the foundation and tells you the purpose of other technologies called Vxlan and ACI. If you want to avoid this topic, if you want to skip this topic, it is very easy, but it will hang you right in terms of what the heck we are doing while configuring Vxlan, what the heck we are doing while configuring ACI. So holistically, multicast is a topic which can easily be skipped, but we will be doing multicast understanding. You know what? Not more than a single day is enough for us. You can call it to be as a refresh course for multicast, a crispy refresh course for multicast, and then star topic Vxlan. So it's going to be there, Vxlan. I'm not sure how many of you have heard of it, but I'm 100% sure that you must have heard of what is this LAN. So something which is beyond LAN is called Vxlan. Something which superpasses over the limitation of LAN is called Vxlan. Vxlan is a tunneling mechanism, it is an overlay mechanism, and we will be doing a lab on Vxlan using 2 spine switches, 4 leaf switches, and 1 legacy switch with 3 Linux servers. The lab for Vxlan will be available with you 24/7, 365 days in a year, around the clock, if you want to practice it. Okay, welcome Rahul. Thank you so much for joining, my friend. We'll close our discussion, this presentation shortly. But in case, guys, this is not my session. Basically, I'm just well taken over to your questions. In case if you have any question, feel absolutely free to put your questions in between. As I rightly said, the entire lab is for you guys. So our Nexus lab are going to be spread across various different labs available with us, with all of us, right, by Cisco through a platform called dCloud. How to use it, how to do it, I will be demonstrating you for each and every lab. Once we are done with Nexus, ending with Vxlan, we will move over to ACI, and this is a very long journey. In fact, more than 1/3 of our entire data center journey is dedicated to application-centric infrastructure. And in this, besides understanding what is this ACI, how this ACI works, what is the topology, what are the devices, how to do the configuration, we will be learning in terms of our ACI from 0 to hero level, and that too with the hands-on, from the basic to the advanced. Well, you won't believe the component which we will cover over here in ACI, right? For the less than that component, there is an organization, right? An MNC training center. You know how much they are charging? They are charging in Indian rupees. In Indian rupees, if we convert it, 3,50,000. Less than what we will be covering over here. I'm not over here to compare the cost. I'm over here just trying to tell you how important this particular knowledge is. Well, this is ACI is going to be our 0 to hero, which will take us more than 4 weeks to complete it. The beauty is over here, I have included certain highly demanding labs being demanded by not many friends of mine earlier as well, and we are going to do it. We will be understanding over here, learning over here the concept of server virtualization. This will give you a glimpse of first very level glimpse of VMware world, because VMware is the pioneer in terms of network virtualization. If you have ever heard of, there is a course called NSX, that is called Network Virtualization course by VMware, in which VMware provides us all kinds of network devices, but in a virtual form, not in a physical form. This ACI will help us to see how can we do integration with our VMware world as well. Okay, what is ACI? Why ACI? Physical topology, building blocks, APIC protocols, maintenance, and all. Lot of new stuffs in this. Well, I have mentioned over here 14 labs which we will be covering in ACI, but these are not 14 labs, to be very honest, these are going to be 15 labs. So in total, these 15 labs and the hands-on onto this will give you a very good confidence on this particular technology. Guys, let me confess one thing. Day before yesterday, I happened to speak to one of my friends, and he said, I am not getting what is this ACI, how this ACI works. And the very first question of mine was, are you doing hands-on onto the basic stuff? Guys, if you will not do hands-on onto the basic stuff from day one, I'm sorry, ACI you will not be able to understand. Because this is not the CLI with the help of which or legacy way of configuring the switches. This is going to be using our graphical user interface way of configuring switches. Over here, you definitely have to establish a cohesiveness between the legacy and the ACI way of configuring your network. Practice one time is not sufficient. Even if you do 10 time practice, you will still feel, oh, there are a lot of things to learn. Every day, even I am learning new stuff in ACI. Storage area networking. Well, as I said, we should know various protocols, various addressing schemas in storage area networking, various different kind of ports. But of course, one can easily understand about storage area networking if you know about local area networking. The ports, the concept, how the traffic flows, then storage area networking becomes very easy, right? It is a different technology, different set of devices, different set of protocols, different security mechanism, different addressing. So everything will be covered in this particular topic. And then unified computing system. As I said, this is not a server. This is going to be an architecture. We are not going to learn about a server. We are going to learn about the architecture in this particular topic. We are going to learn how the servers are connected to the LAN, how servers are connected to the storage area networking. Then this becomes an architecture. We will be doing a deep dive in terms of each and every component included in this particular technology called unified computing system. Today, other vendors, this is a Cisco provided terminology. Other vendors, they call it as compute architecture. Okay, Cisco HyperFlex, as I said, it is a merger of LAN, SAN, and compute. And HyperFlex is Cisco's terminology. This is a technology called hyper-converged infrastructure. We will be just focusing on Cisco because this particular certification is Cisco Ccie data center certification. You know, guys, I think I'm taking too much of time and giving less time to you guys to ask. So this is the last module called Python, which is nothing but which is a scripting language, and with the help of which we will learn how to configure our devices. But in this particular topic, we will be learning how to do our Python scripting, and that's all that will bring and to our all the modules. Okay, just in quick, I would like to tell you what different materials will be provided to you. You will be provided with the study materials. Study materials will include your class notes, your online class videos, your various PDF of various documents, and Cisco reference material, the practical material which will be provided to you. In fact, not by us. It will be absolutely at your discretion to use. And if you have various other components, you can use them. But our major labs will happen over Cisco D Cloud. I'll tell you how to access it, how to use it, and how to do the labs, right, on Cisco D Cloud. Okay, study methodology. Slow and steady wins the race. So you really need not go fast. Fast in terms of, oh, someone has passed. Let me look at into the shortcut way. Get the dumps, mug it up, go, clear the exam. Exam is clear, but your life is will put into the question mark. You will not have a right way because you have to prove your knowledge, and knowledge comes slowly and steadily. Okay, so guys, well, I don't have much to tell you. Would really love to hear back from you. And during this explanation, our friends Shaji joined and Rahul and one of my friend by the name of Lenovo. Well, I'm not using Lenovo. So Lenovo, let's start from you. Could you please introduce yourself? Don't tell me your laptop, huh? Or a server. Lenovo, dear friend, could you please unmute yourself? Introduce about you. I'm sorry, you joined little late. Okay, I'll come back to you, Lenovo. Shaji, yeah. So Shaji, you joined in between. Probably I missed to explain you a couple of things. In case if you have any question, you can tell your question. Let us know your expectation and who you are, where you are working, what's your experience and expectation from this course. Shaji, mobile, over to you. Please take my mic. Hello, I hope you're there, Shaji. Okay, no worries. All right, so guys, your questions. I have just given you an introduction. Would love to address your questions over here. I have kept less in my bin. I have given a bigger bin to you guys. Okay. If no question, then fine, fair enough. Thank you so very much for joining. Enjoy rest part of this beautiful Sunday. Yes, Olympics is going on. Please do watch today. Track and field competitions going on. Yesterday, the competitions were really very exciting. Watch, enjoy Olympics with your family.
Ashish, one quick question.
Sure, Emmanuel.
Yes, sorry, I was trying to mute myself since.
No worries.
Good. The DNA. Does the DNA come into play here? I'm not quite sure.
Digital network architecture
Right.
is a part of Cisco SD access, software defined access. DNA is not a part of CCI data center.
Okay. Thank you.
You want to do SD access? Yes, we do have SD access. You can reach out to our dear coordinator.
Okay.
Drop him a message or a mail, and he will put you into that particular course.
Okay. Thank you. So it's
Right.
not focused on the exam. Does it have its own line of exam tied into any of the CCIE? I mean, this is really data center, so it doesn't even involve this at all. It's just its own little section. Is that right?
Yes, SD access probably is aligned to the enterprise infrastructure, SD-WAN, and SD access. So you can do this particular course as separately or as a part of enterprise infrastructure as well.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you a lot.
You're welcome, my friend Emmanuel. Okay, guys, any other question? Lenovo, I come back to you. Would you mind telling your real name? Okay, there's a silence in the rooms, guys. Thank you so much, very much.
I have one question. So, like, how much experience do you recommend to, like, before starting this CCIE data center training? Because, like, I am a fresher in this field, so I have like some basic knowledge of routing and switching, but I do not have any knowledge about data center. So, like, before appearing to this course, what should I learn? What do you recommend it for this?
For this particular course, your basic knowledge, your hands-on knowledge, not a basic knowledge, your hands-on knowledge of CCNA routing and switching is what is expected. If you know about IP addressing, if you know about routing protocols, if you know about switching protocols, then this is sufficient. We are going to use all this knowledge in data center. So nothing about data center is expected because this is from scratch to advanced course.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Vikrant. Any other question, guys? Okay. Silence in the room. Thank you so very much, guys. Our coordinator will catch back to you in case if you have any further question, any doubt, etc. You want to reach me out. Well, you know, I'm available only on weekends. So my weekdays are fully packed weekdays. So, but definitely you will get immediate response to your questions, your doubts over the mail. But if it's really so urgent, then I can have a call with you. All right, guys, thank you very much. And let's hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ashish. Thanks for the session. So bye-bye. Nice weekend.
Thank you.
Nice. Thank you so much. Nice weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Happy weekend.